Okay, back to where it all started. It's the final video for the quest to qualify. I am Johnny Wonder, and wanted to do this kind of like, where the original first video started, which is in my office. As you can see, the movie posters in the background, and one of the things I do is I work in the film business as well, and this is, an office that I took a lot of practice swings in and did some videos of, me with a practice club. But I wanted to sort of just kind of recount what happened. This would be Monday, a couple days ago. So this is, this video is posting on Friday. But Monday was a good day for me. And I shot 84. So that's the first time in my life I can actually say I shot 84 and I was actually proud of myself. And I don't need to make excuses, meaning like, well, I didn't get to play that much, and I didn't get to practice as much as I like to, and yada, yada, yada. That was the whole point to this thing, is I knew that I was never going to be able to hone a golf swing, grind on my short game. It was always going to be fast and furious and see if I could show up to the first tee at Sahalee a little bit smarter than I was when I started, and I definitely was. Without going through the whole round, a couple of takeaways that I can say are, I didn't have any nerves on the first tee, and I showed up that day nervous because I had nothing physically. I had no reason to be confident about anything in my game. The times that I went to the driving range at Sahalee or played golf, at Sahalee the days before, I played good holes and I hit some good shots, but I was sculling it. I was chunking it. I couldn't really hit a half shot. I basically had resigned to my range sessions just being me hitting little knee-high fastballs with like a 6-iron just to get the club face on the ball, so at least I had a shot. And it got to the point where the only shot I could confidently hit was this little punch fade with my irons. Now, the driver was the only club that I could go and actually really swing at it hard and try to hit it and get it in the air and actually make, look like a golfer. But I remember sitting at the driving range on Saturday evening or Sunday evening at Sahalee, just out there hitting balls. And I'm like, there's people all over the green. You got to remember, it's like college, amateur college kids going out for their practice round, people eating lunch on the after the club championship. There's, a bunch of people out on the patio watching, and here's Johnny Wonder out there. Not that the whole world was watching me, but like in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I just topped that 3-wood, or I just like literally, heel sculled that 3-wood, into the trees, or that was I had it going left, I had it going right, I had it going up, down, left, right. I had no clue where the ball was going. And, I kind of woke up the next morning expecting to shoot 85, and expecting to be embarrassed and expecting to be just not feeling awesome. And, I got to the first tee and I didn't care. Like I didn't, I wasn't doing this for, not like the whole world cares what I shot that day. Let's be honest. It's not like, I'm not Kim Kardashian where the whole world's tracking my every move. It was, all the pressure that was on myself was self-imposed. So I don't think, me reporting back to my, whoever was following this thing that I shot 84, people are going to be like, oh God, I knew he was going to shoot 84 and this and that. Like it's not that environment. Like not enough people cared. It's not like I'm not that important. But it was all self-imposed. And typically in that situation, I am shaking. And I said it on my podcast, like my hands are sweaty and my thoughts are fast and I'm pacing around the tee and I'm a mess. Like that day, man, I was just going to play golf. And I tricked myself that morning just going, I'm going to go play my home course, Rainier. In my mind, I'm playing Rainier. And I'm showing up to play with 2 young kids that wanted to go out and play. And I hit a good tee ball off the first tee, and I went bogey, double bogey to start, which under the current normal circumstances that would have shook me to my core. But I was like, whatever, like okay. Then I started kind of settling down. I made a birdie here and, made some pars in a row. And, I'm standing on the 11th tee, like 4 over after 10 holes on a, I have to say this, on a really, really tough golf course. And I'm not saying that because I shot 84. It was a tough golf course. It was playing as tough as it does, for the NEC or for the Sahali Players Championship or for the PGA Championship that they played in 98. I know the golf course very well. I know when it sets up tough. That day, Monday morning, June 10th, the golf course was pimped out tough. The pins were tucked. It was a tough golf course that day. And I know really, really good players that shot over 80 that day. So, but that's not the point. I'm not saying that to be like, well, I shot 80, but so did these other guys. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that the golf course was freaking hard. And I played it well. I got to the 11th tee and I started pressing. I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to follow Arcos anymore. I'm not going to follow the caddy suggestions, which was what I was kind of doing in my mind, and things that I had written down for my plan. And it started whistling driver off every tee. And I think I had another, 2 more par 3s. So I had 6 more driver shots to hit. And I probably hit 4 of those drivers well, but I hit them in the wrong spots. And the other 2 that I kind of skanked out there, I made double. So every single time I hit a shot that wasn't okay, I made double. And I ended up going 8 over for 6 holes and par in the last 2 holes. And, you add them up, it adds up to 84. And I was, trying to make a couple birdies coming in and shoot 74 or whatever. But I need to say this out loud, like me qualifying for the Sahali Players Championship would have been a miracle where my game was at. Like, it would have been quite the personal achievement for me. Like, my game's not in shape to go out there and compete with these kids. But my mind is. And I would go back and do it all over again, and I guarantee I would do a lot better. Without physically getting better, I would just sort of make a couple of different decisions, and all of a sudden that 84 would have been in 77 or 78. I do know that 84 is the highest I could have shot that day. I didn't make any putts. I rolled it really well, just overread everything, and hit it in the wrong spots. And, I had a hole where I made double and didn't hit one bad shot. That's Sahali. But I left after that. I just kind of smiled after I holed out after an 84, wanting it so bad to be a 73 or a 72 so I could have snuck in. But I was proud of myself. I showed well. I played well. I played hard. For the first time ever, I played, chess, not checkers. And I'm a better golfer for going through this experience. So what I learned, and this is the key part of this whole thing, and I'm not going to make this like a 30-minute video. This is going to be a couple more minutes. I over-inundated myself with information. So for anybody that's going to go out there and do something like this and use Arcos or Corporate Connect or use modern technology or try to get better without hitting a bunch of balls, I took in too much information. Like I said this on my podcast, I am an alcoholic. I have an addict's brain. My brain works in really, really bizarre ways. So when I get into something, it goes inappropriately deep. So all of a sudden I'm getting equipment and I'm, going to TXG and hitting balls with Ian Frazier, and I'm talking to Nick Starchuk and Claude Harmon and David Woods and Larry Chung and all these great, great minds, and I'm taking in information and I'm like, I'm going to try this and try that and blah, 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 blah. And by the end of it, dude, I didn't know who I was as a golfer. I just knew that I was struggling and had no bearing on the information these guys were giving me. I was taking in too much information and changing too many variables for me to manage. If I would have done it all over again, I probably would have changed maybe 2 or 3 clubs and not talked to a lot of people and just focused on the app and a couple of the swing devices that I was using, like the hanger and the swing mate that I haven't received yet, but I tried it a couple times. David Woods apparatus, the head pro at the Vintage Club that he's doing with Tour Striker. That was a cool idea. I would have probably, if I would have had that, I would have used that to make practice swings. And I would have just watched a lot of smart players play golf. That's probably as far as I would go. So the advice I can give to anybody that's trying to do something, especially if they're going to put it on a finite date, simplify as much as you can. So this project was never about getting new stuff or replacing the old with the new. It was about getting smarter. And typically the people that get smarter eliminate variables. I did not do that. Do I think if I would have done that, my score would have been different? I have no idea. I know I was a confused guy Sunday night, not knowing where the ball was going. And the reason I was worried about where the ball was going and how I was hitting is because I had been taking on too much information, and I lost sight of the fact that I needed to go and shoot a score. And if you heard me preach on in the videos about how I just need to go and shoot a score and it all matters about what I shoot and not how I play, all that crap got tossed to the side because I took on too much stuff. You know, I think I played 10 times in 9 months, probably hit balls 10 times, and 8 of the times were at TXG in a simulator. All the short game practice I did when I was in Seattle. Thank God my short game's good, so that was never really an issue. But this is a model, and I want people to sort of, if you want to try something like this, learn from my mistakes. And the biggest mistake that I made was new golfer means new everything. I never recognized the things that I already did well and protected those things. I lost it all. So that's the advice I would give, is the first thing before you start a project like this is take stock of what you have, what you do well, and protect those things that you do. Because as you get smarter, those things will get better just by nature, because you're going to be doing them from a better place on the golf course. Don't try to go and reach, if it's specific to a project like what I did with the Solid Players Championship, don't try to mess with all your clubs. Don't try to do a whole rebag boot like I did. Don't talk to 9 million teachers or, a bunch of teachers or a bunch of golf colleagues about what to do and what to think. Find one person that's going to be like your ride or die. Use the information. Look at the information. Look at it honestly. Use Cobra Connect or use Arcos, whether it's Cobra Connect or Ping's apparatus or whatever it is, but use Arcos because it's awesome. It's a shortcut. And remember that it's fun. I took all the fun out of it. I just did. I took the fun out of it until I got to the first tee on Monday. But up to that point, truth be told, guys, it wasn't fun for me because I was putting too much pressure on myself because I was adding variables that I couldn't control. And the whole point to this thing is becoming efficient, and I didn't. So I didn't learn. The big lessons I got from this was not things that I tried and worked. It was from all the things that I tried that didn't work. And I can look back and go, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work, and that didn't work. So, but that's the end of the journey. I hope it's okay, you guys, watching this 15-minute video of me babbling to the camera, but this is where it started. Now I'm going to go back to my life of, being a 42-year-old guy with bills and kids and a wife to take care of and things to do. But for the people that followed this, it's thank you for all the support. It's been fun. Cobra Golf and Golf WRX, unbelievable opportunity they gave me to be able to try something like this. I wish it would have ended a little sweeter, but it did. I shot 84 and it still ended sweet for me. I think this was a success for me personally. And even the way I documented this thing would have changed a little bit too, but it's the first time. I'm a test rat. So thank you all for following this. If you have any questions, please, on Instagram, I'm at Johnny_Wonder on Instagram. So look me up on there. I would encourage anybody to try something like this. The technology is out there to do it without having to beat 1,000 balls. And don't take the fact that I shot 84 and didn't qualify as a metric of whether or not this worked. It worked. I got smarter. I'm a better golfer today than I was. And I know that. Like, it's simple for me to say, and I'm not selling you a bunch of BS. Like, I'm smarter. I'm a smarter golfer. So anyway, that's the end of this journey. Thank you all for following. It's Johnny Wonder, Quest to Qualify, Cobra Connect, Cobra Golf, Golf WRX. You guys have a great summer. We'll see you on the road. Take care.